Hi, welcome back to Styling Life with Carissa. For those that are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. But before you leave, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, you guys, I am going to do some more harvesting of the okra, you guys, because it is just growing quite fast. I don't know if you can see it, but it is growing really fast and it's producing it. This is what I wanted. That's why I bought a lot of okra. And then I also need to fix the I'm gonna have to fix the I guess you call it a trellis. I'm gonna have to fix the trellis, you guys, because I just kind of half did it or what have you, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But what I did, because I'm not that good and I don't have the space, really, to be honest with you, to do like a big trellis or a big what they call it, Florida weaving type of thing for the trellis or what have you. And so I just did what I could do at the time of what I had, so that those vines on the cucumbers, actually both cucumbers, can start crawling, and they are definitely doing that. And so what I did, I went to Home Depot and purchased 2 of these from Home Depot. I think I may have spent maybe $12.97 or something like that. So hopefully I can get them to start crawling. I guess this is called, yeah, it's a pot trellis. So I guess I can get this to start crawling up this trellis or what have you. Then I also went and purchased, more herbs, and I was also able to purchase, now I just ran across this right here. I didn't realize they had these, but these are sweet potato slips, and so I got a large pot over here that I can plant those in. So we're going to give these a try, and they are from Bunny, and they are Beauregard. I think it's Beauregard or something like that. That's the name of it. And so I will probably be planting these as well, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get a lot of things done today. So my focus really is to get the okra off, along with planting these. Potatoes. I also bought, again, another, I thought they were out of this, you guys, but another lemon balm. And the lemon balm that I showed you in an earlier video, that lemon balm is really coming back, is doing well. But because I like it and I've been picking off it so much, I'm going to plant another container of lemon balm as well. And I got a spearmint plant. Now I love myself some spearmint, you guys, so I had to go ahead and purchase this as well. And I got a mint, I got the spearmint, and then I have a mojito plant as well. So I'm excited to start harvesting off of this and the mojito plant as well. And then I went and got another basil, but this is a sweet basil, because what I found out about the basil that I showed you guys, and I'm gonna go pull one right quick. So these 2 basil plants right here are sweet basil. So it's sweet basil, and both of them are by Bunny. And so what I think has happened to this one is that I want to say it bolted or whatever you call it, and that's when your plant the actual taste of the plant is not good anymore. It has a bitter taste to it. And so this plant right here has a really bad bittery taste. Even when I kind of went to the bottom, and I'm going to take one off now. I went to the bottom and it tastes really bittery, okay? But this plant right here, it looks a whole lot healthier. Well, this looks healthy too, it's just bolted, okay? And so I wanted to go ahead and start, I'm going to separate it out of the pot, so that it can have some room to grow. And I'm sweating out here because it's hot, y'all. And so I'm going to separate it out of the pot, and then I am going to get this started growing as well, because I can't really harvest anything until I see the plant getting to a certain point. And again, I mentioned to you all I wanted to make some pesto, and so I between the, I guess, the 3 new plants that I have, this one and the regular basil, I may have enough to harvest to make a small container of pesto. And so this is what I'll be doing today. The kohlrabi, I'm gonna, this is what I planted maybe about a week or so ago, and these are my bush beans, my green bush beans. I'm gonna go ahead and take these out of this container, you guys, because it's ready to be planted in a regular pot so that it can go ahead and do what it needs to do as well. And so this kohlrabi, I think the kohlrabi is ready too for me to pull out of the pot and plant too. So all I will be doing today is what I said, pulling these and planting these. And I may not be able to get to these little trellises over here, but if I do later on, I'll make sure that I show you guys the end results of it. Okay, all right, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, you guys, I wanted to show you all how this lemon balm plant is growing. I think you can see it pretty close. And you can see that it has really filled in since the last time I showed you how it was looking, because I cut it down, and I was actually going to cut it down some more, but it looks like it's growing really good. Now, some pieces like here, I'm going to have to break this off because it's trying to flower again. And so what I've done, I've just kind of gone through and just kind of broke off whatever I saw was trying to flower. But it, well, we know that it comes back, and so I'll be able to start picking off of this again, harvesting off of this as well, but I'm gonna give it some time, y'all. And so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and start planting these herbs, you all. And so I'm going to be using some Black Cow 555, and I also will be using some Kellogg raised bed and potting mix as well. And so I am just going to, and then I'm using to fertilize. Now, I ran out of my bone meal, and I forgot to get it when I was at Home Depot, but I'm just going to use the blood meal, so hopefully it's going to do the same thing as the bone meal. But I've been kind of living by this bone meal, because I tell you, my garden is looking really, really good, and I do a lot of fertilizing with this more so than the blood meal. And I'll use the blood meal whenever I run out, okay? And so I'll be using this. All right, y'all, I am adding my my manure, this Black Cow. I'm adding this at the top because we want our plants, and I'm also adding it to the bottom of the plant as well. I have something that I want to share with you all that you didn't know. I planted this in the fall, but it's my garlic, you guys. I harvest my garlic about 3 weeks ago. I think it was about a month, we'll say about a month or so ago, and they're doing really well. I just brought them out of the garage, and so I'll show you guys how the garlic is looking. It turned out to be a decent size. And so I am going to be planting garlic again this year, but this time I went and bought some larger garlic so that I can get larger garlic. So I'll show you guys that in a few. I also I've decided that what I'll do is put this in this pot here. I'm going to put the basil in this pot. Now I also want to show you this too. Now this already have holes in the bottom of it, which is great for good drainage. And then for this container here, I am going to use this for my bush beans or what have you. I'm undecided on which pot. I thought I was going to use this larger pot down here for that, but I may use it for something else. But in the meantime, we just going to use what we got here. And so what I should have done was got a big container so that I can mix my soil up first, but I don't have a large container, so I have to mix them in its individual containers or what have you. And so I'm just going to take probably a handful of the blood meal and just fertilize this and put it at the bottom. It is, not only is it hot out here, but it's real humid too. And I think that's where all the sweating is coming from. It's coming from it being so humid out here. But we're going to make it do what it's going to do, y'all. And I'm cool with it. And so, if you guys haven't decided on gardening yet, go on and do it. You still have time to do it, you guys. And so, I'm going to go ahead and plant these. I'm going to break the root. Well, it's not root bound, so that's good. So, I just kind of break it up a little bit. But first, what I'm going to do, and I should have did this first, I'm just going to take this container and I'm going to dig like a hole that is deep enough of the size of this container. And so in that way, I'll make sure that it's kind of planted down far enough in the pot. I'm gonna add a little more to top it off, y'all. And then just kind of pat it down in so it can be down in the pot secure enough, you guys. So we're done with this one. Okay, so next I'm going to do the spearmint. And so this pot is a little bit larger, and so I'm just going to go ahead and just sit it in here and make sure that I have it planted down deep enough. And then the roots have grown out, so hopefully I can get it out without breaking the plant. Ooh. Okay, break these roots up a little bit. And then I'll add some soil from this pot since I already have it in here. This spearmint smells so good, y'all. Ooh, it smells so good. And then I put a little black cow on it. A little blood meal in here too. Oh, that smells so good. I think these are gonna sprout on out real quick as well, just like the other ones. And even that that mojito plant way back there is getting taller. And so I'm thinking that, and even with the basil, because I'm looking at how the other basil, the regular basil, is growing, and so I probably will not put this in direct sun. And so I think they grow much better when they're not in the sun. And so the ones that I showed you that have bolted, they was just really struggling in the sun. So I mentioned to you all before that I was going to end up sacrificing some basil anyway, but I kind of thought I still could get something off the basil plants, but it ain't gonna happen. Now, got to tell y'all this too. I told you hornworms will tear up your garden. So far, they've not had the opportunity to start tearing up my garden. But the other day, there was a hornworm on my deal. On the deal, y'all. On the deal. Hornworm. And so you can imagine how I was acting. I had a girlfriend over here, and she was telling me to put baking soda. You know who you are. She was telling me to put baking soda. So we were really trying to see what was going to happen with the hornworm if you put baking soda on it. That sucker crawled away from the baking soda. It still had some stride in them. So what I did, I went and got, because I got tired of him. I got tired of even trying to see if he was going to die off that. So I went and got this 7 right here. I think a lot of gardeners live by this right here as well. Sprayed that sucker. And he down here somewhere, but it stopped him right in his track. He was still trying to crawl a little bit. But this right here, you guys, if you're having any type of hornworm issues, get you some Garden Tech 7 insect killer, okay? It's good for ants, hornworms, stink bugs, Japanese beetles. Japanese beetles too have been really raiding my garden. It has. And there's a peach tree down the way where the lemon tree used to live. And so I mean, it was tearing up my peach tree. And so what I did was I sprayed this 7 on them, and I don't know, maybe it does something to the nervous system. I don't care as long as they died. Okay, I wasn't trying to save nothing. I'm trying to save my garden. Okay, no insects. I'm trying to save my garden, and the only insects that I'll save is the ones that are good for the garden, y'all, and that's going to continue to pollinate everything in the garden that needs to be pollinated. Okay, but get you some of this. It's so good. I'm telling you, it's so good. Okay. And so I am done with this one. So this is how this is looking. Okay. And so we got 2 down and a few more to go. Let me move this out of the way. And so I said I wanted to break this. This is a large pot, so I may not break up the this basil right here, because this pot right here is pretty large enough to handle this, the full length of it. Now if there's a little small one on the side, then I may just go ahead and break that apart as well. I also mentioned to y'all that I tried to plant a burgundy basil, and I told you it died. I just didn't know what was going on with it, and it died off. Well, I was able to save a little piece of it, and it looks like it's still trying to live. I may just I'm thinking about digging it back up and putting it in, because it's in the pot with my sunflowers. Then the pot with that, because I had a little room to kind of put it on the side. And so I think what I may do is just probably pull it out and put it in a different pot and see what happens with that. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and plant the whole plant and just leave it where it is and kind of go from there. But it smells so good. I'm so excited to start harvesting off this as well, y'all. And I'm only taking a handful, maybe maybe a little over a handful of blood meal to fertilize. Put some black cow around it. I tell you, I'm not gonna put anything else in this garden, y'all. I promise y'all, I ain't putting nothing else in here. I think I got pretty much everything I wanted to plant in this garden. And so the main thing I really wanted to plant, like I said, was the okra and the basil. I probably will give you all once I get the trellises completed on the cucumbers, I'm going to give you all another tour, and you will definitely be surprised how this garden has grown within the past few days or what have you. Okay, I think I might have to stake this one right here. But here's another one I'm done with. So we got 3 down and a couple of more to go. Okay, so you guys, so the next thing I am going to plant are the bush beans. Now, I was thinking about, let me kind of tell you something a little bit about kohlrabi. Now, this is the first time I've ever eaten kohlrabi, and I was, like I mentioned before in another video, that I wanted to try kohlrabi because there were so many people on YouTube planting it, and so I really wanted to see how it tastes, because they said you can fry it, I think you can even dehydrate it or something like that as well, but some people are kind of like frying it, making maybe chips or French fry kohlrabi. And so I wanted to kind of give it a try and see how it tastes. I think you all, for me, let me just say for me, I don't mind branching out, and just trying new things. And I always say that I'll try, certain things one time, okay? And if I like it, I can just say, hey, look, I tried it, and I can give you some history in terms of how I felt about it. But what I learned and what I've seen on other channels, that kohlrabi grows like a little bulb. It grows above the soil, and it tends to branch out, and the leaves are very, very wide, okay? So this pot right here, because I have so many, I probably would end up losing it, or if anybody, was interested in my family, if you're interested in it, then I can, save some of the plants for you if you're interested in trying as well. But I'm going to probably buy a couple of more pots like this. Maybe I probably would try 4. Maybe 4. And just plant them in a pot by itself, because again, I don't want to do it like this because of the fact that the bulb can get, I don't know how large this one is going to get, but the fruit itself can get pretty large. And so, but for this container, for one, it would be perfect for a container this size. And so that's what I will do. I will not plant the kohlrabi today. I'll do it another time, probably in the next day or so. But I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off with planting the bush beans. Just do that in this container. And I think I showed it to you, but these got a lot of holes in it as well, and it comes with a little drip drain. And if you see a container that has this, and I'm only saying this to people who might be fooled by it as well, thinking that, okay, it ain't a lot of holes in it, but this is an actual drip drain drainage thing that you can pull off, and then you'll have all the holes, so you don't have to drill any more holes in your container because they are here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill the pot up with I have 3 bush bean leaves that have grown up, and so I'm just going to go ahead and just plant those out and then wait for them to grow. And so I am just going to go ahead and get with it, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna jump back in and tell you, this soil, the Kellogg organic soil, this soil has a lot. It has peat moss in it and all other kinds of nutrients in this soil. That's why I really love this soil here, because again, it does a really good job. My plants grow really well in this particular soil. Now, I think a while, maybe a few years back, I may have tried other soils, but so far this soil here, I switched over just to see how this was going to be, but so far this soil has been great for my plants. This is a big chunk, rather, of peat moss, and so it is, like I said, it's a lot. See that? It is, which is good for your soil, you guys. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's great for your soil. Okay, so I have 3 plants, and so I'm going to try to plant them maybe 4 inches away from each other, because that's what I did with the rest of them, and they're growing pretty good. And so okay, all right, so now I'm gonna try my best to only pop out the ones that I need to plant. All right, you guys, here we go. Put a little fertilizer down in here. I already got my black cow in. This one here, right here, really struggled, you guys, but it's coming along, and I'm gonna go ahead and plant this as well. And rather than planting it in the middle, I'm just gonna plant it on the end, so that this will not, when it grows, these leaves won't be covering this and then stunting, I guess that's what I'm saying, the growth of this one. And then I'll add a little bit more soil. These babies are happy to be planted into a larger container, honey. They're real happy. And I'm happy too. Okay, so I planted today. The kohlrabi will be planted a different day. We'll work on that a different day. Really quick though. And so the next thing that really needs to be planted is the kohlrabi, and the sweet potato slips. And I think that is basically it. I don't have anything else to plant this year, y'all. I'm happy about that. And so this is my tender, these are the tender green beans. We're just gonna put this little sticker back in here and put it aside. And so the last thing I want to show you guys, okay, so the last thing I want to show you guys is the garlic, y'all. Show you the garlic. Okay. All right, y'all, here is the garlic. Now, this one was the first one, and I know it looks real crazy, y'all, because I had to pull it because it was looking crazy too. And if you can see this here, it looked like, ooh, it looks like it was getting ready to grow. It was growing another bulb here and right here. So outside the pot, y'all. And so I went ahead and just harvest this. This was the first one that I harvest. And so this one is probably about 7 weeks old. Now these, they're about a good 3 weeks to maybe almost a month, but I still got really nice size. And go look at the video. You know what, it's in the fall garden video, and so I'll probably post that to this video so you can see when I actually planted these. But we're talking about, I think I did these back in October. I think it was either October or November. Can't remember right now. But they've been, you know, they've been down for a minute. And so it was just time, because the leaves were just looking all crazy. But this is how they're looking. And I think they're really ready for me to go ahead and cut these off, of course, and to kind of clean them up. And so I'm so excited that I was able to grow garlic, you guys. I didn't know how this was going to turn out. People were doing it and, you know, going to the grocery store and getting garlic, and I didn't know how this was going to turn out, especially when I went and I had that flop of a white potato planting. It was just a disaster, you guys. But and I didn't think it was going to grow, but it did. And so now I'm encouraged to get some more garlic and go ahead and plant those. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to be planting garlic in the next few weeks or what have you. I just got to go and look and see when really is a good time to go ahead and plant garlic, because I think I'm almost thinking that I can't say this. I was gonna say I'm almost thinking that you can plant garlic at least twice a year. I don't know, I'm not for sure, but I'm just going to do some research, and if I can go ahead and start planting them now or within the next month or so, I'm going to go ahead and get it in the pot. And it grew in, I don't know if you can see it, but it grew in the pot where it grew in this pot. Okay, so it grew in this pot, but let me tell you, I planted about 6 garlics in here, but only 3 came up. And so not sure why only 3 came up. I don't know if it's because of the size of the pot, that it needed to be a little bit larger for 6 garlic cloves or what have you. So I don't know, I might get a bigger pot and try it again. Definitely trying it again, but I don't know if I'm going to do it in this pot. Okay, you guys, so this is it for the video. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel, and the next thing you will see as far as the gardening is concerned is me trying to figure out how I'm going to get that trellis, break down that one over here, build this one up, because a lot of those leaves are actually crawling. So I'm gonna have to try to unravel them and try to possibly wrap them around the new trellis. But thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.